Alright guys, this is Jacob from Wager Me This, and I got a video from a subscriber, or a strategy. On the channel he's calling it rope betting. In his text messages to me he called it a 6 and 8 special or 68 special. I think it's going to take roughly $3,000 to do this. So that's why I got $3,000 out. But it's actually really simple. All you do is play the 6 and 8 for the first 2 levels, and then you play the Iron Cross for the 3rd level. All right, so this would just be on every other shooter, not you. All right, so what we're going to do is we're just going to work all the time. I'm going to run through 10 shooters right here and see where it ends up. And there's an 8, okay? So on the first level, what you do is you just collect until a 7. No matter what it is. You just keep collecting until a 7. Okay, so there's your 7. Shooter number 1. Okay, so now on the second level, you go to 84 on the 6 and 8. Get some white chips. $84 is going to pay 98. Okay, so if we, on this level, what we do is when we hit one of them, then we regress back down to the 60, the 30, and the 30. All right, so we're looking for one hit. We're just working all the time. All right, so we lost. Okay, so now the 3rd level is a little trickier. You have to put a lot of money out there. And get some $100 units. And this is why I said it's kind of like the 444 that Kaufman does. Because this is basically the same thing that they do. So 456. I think in this one's supposed to be 450. I don't think it's supposed to be 456. Because you go to the Iron Cross and then it's a $250 field bet. Okay, so now here's the thing. You roll a 7 right here, it was a really, really bad day. But if you don't roll a 7 right here, you're roughly going to be even. And there's a 5. Okay. I'm going to lose this. 450. I don't know exactly what 450 is. Okay, so 20 is going to pay 280, or 200 is going to pay 280. Okay, so 280 and 280 is 560 plus 70 is 630. Okay. 630. All right, so you'd rack all that back up. And you'd start over at the $30 level. All right, so a 5 is our point. Here we go. And there's a 7, okay. So we didn't make none at the $30 level. Now, I don't know if he would go back to the $30 level here. Maybe he would. I don't know. I'm going to go to the $84 level. All right, here we go. We're still working. And there's a yo. And a 7. We're rolling a lot of 7s. Okay, so we would go back to this Iron Cross. The 3rd hit, which is 456, 450. Well, 450, and then 456, 456. Let's get some green chips. And then 250 in the field. All right, here we go. And there's the 8. Now I got to figure out what the 8 pays. All right, so 300, 350. Okay. So I know how to pay this. This pays 175. This pays 7. 300 pays 350. There we go. Okay, so then we would pull it all back down. We'd go to the $30 level. 8 is our point. And we made the 8 again. $35. All right, still working. There's the 8 again, 35 bucks. And the 7, okay. It's gonna be another shooter. So now we would go to the $84 level. Oh, I think that was supposed to go here. And there's the 3. And the 6, okay. 84 is going to pay 98. Rack it up. Take it down to 30. And keep playing. So this is the key, is you're just trying to maintain those $30 bets out there. Basically on every roll of the dice, you're going to be playing the 6 and 8. Every now and then you'll be playing the Iron Cross. And honestly, guys, you should win a lot with this. I mean, it's kind of like the one hit can't miss once you get to the Iron Cross level, $35. In the sense that as long as you don't roll a 7, you should be fine. You should basically be able to restart your little system here. Definitely some danger only being 3 levels deep, because you can see 3 7s in a row. It does happen. Or 3.7s in a row. Or however it is you're going to play it. But then again, you can also see, you could never see a 7 on that roll. You know what I mean? Like you could easily never run into a 7 on that specific roll when you go to the Iron Cross. And that's a real legitimate possibility. That you may never see a 7 there. All right, here we go. And the 8. So this is how it's supposed to work. More where you get to the second level and you get an 8 or a 6 before the third level. And I do think it'll work this way a lot of the time. Where you'll get to the second level and it'll roll a 6 or an 8 and you'll go back down and you'll just bounce back and forth, making $35 along the way, as we're doing here. Yeah, I do think this is a really good strategy. I actually think you should go with the 6 and 8 for a 4th level, or for another level before you jump to the Iron Cross. I actually think you should give it one more shot, in my opinion. So it should be 3 levels of 6 and 8 before the Iron Cross, I think. That's my personal view on it. But doing it this way is just fine. All right, $84. But it is very similar to the Kaufman strategy. He just uses all the numbers. Like in the Kaufman strategy, you just bet all the way across, all the numbers all the time. I don't know if I marked that 7. And there's the 9. And when you do, there's the 5. That it makes it really hard to lose. And as long as there's the 7 out. Okay, so we're to the iron cross level again. As long as you don't roll basically 4 7s in a row with the Kaufman strategy, you'll win. Which it's kind of similar to this in a lot of ways. It's a progression like this, like a 4x progression. This isn't quite a 4x progression, but anyway, what I'm getting at is that it's similar. But all these progression strategies that are big progressions like this are similar. So, and there's the 10. So we're going to win 250. The 250 winner isn't perfect, right? It barely gets you back to even, but it's still a good win. So, all the way down to the 30 level. And I believe we're up quite a bit. We started with $3,000, right? And there's the 7. So we missed right there. So none of these times on our iron cross roll have we hit a 7. So that's a pretty telling thing about the strategy is if you want to play this and you got first of all the bankroll to play it. Second thing is you got to have some guts. What am I looking for? 84? Yeah, 84. You got to have a little bit of guts because you are progressing heavily. There's a 4. And there's a 7 out. All right, so we're last shooter is going to be on the iron cross version of it. All right, here we go. But it will work. I believe it will work. And I actually believe it'll work a lot. Like a lot of the time. I need some greens. Probably far more than you might imagine. Like I wouldn't be too worried about once I got to this spot right here. Because you would have to have rolled 2 7s in a row. So I wouldn't be too worried about rolling a third one. I mean, it can happen. And it just did. All right, obviously. So right when I ran my mouth, it happened. All right, so I'm going to count that as the last shooter. This did fail here, right at the end, on the 10th shooter here, or the 10th 7, or whatever you want to call it. But I think it was a little anomaly. I actually don't think it's really consistent with what it would do. So your 1,000, you're down about half your bankroll right there. If you did happen to have a 3 7s in a row that got you. Again, I think there should be a 4th level. I think the iron cross should be the 4th level. Because I do think you can go from that 84 to something like 175. Or even 210, something like that, where, you know, or 240. I think there's another level in there, in my opinion. But anyways, this is Joey Indiana's strategy, and guys, I like it. I know it failed right here at the end, but if you think about it, we were probably up about $500, so we probably would have never got to that last shot if you were playing from a goal. So, you know, there is some caveat to what I showed there, you know. And guys, to roll, I mean, it takes a bad roll, a bad run to lose on this one. Are you going to go through spells where you don't hit 6 and 8s? Yeah, there's going to be those. They happen actually pretty regularly. Because if you just play the 6 and 8, that's only 10 combinations. So there's actually a lot more combinations, 26 other combinations that can roll. So, but again, I do think this will work consistently. And obviously you could play it at a lower level. If you had a $5 table, you could start with $6. Your next level would only have to be like $18 bets. So, I mean, you could definitely put 3 or 4 levels in it at a $5 table. So, again, thank you, Joe, Indiana. He goes by Joe W. Indiana. He's on a lot of people's channels. So he's a great subscriber and great commenter, and he has a lot of great info. So if you see him, tell him you saw the strategy here, and let him know what you think about it. Not aggressively. That's not what I'm talking about. But just, let him know. Give him some feedback. And so in my opinion, it just needs another level in it. Because, for example, 4 7s in a row is significantly different than 3 7s in a row. From like a DGE standpoint, so that multiplication is a huge multiplier. So again, I think it needs another level. And this is Jacob from Wager Me This, and you guys have a great day.